Hello, my friend. Welcome into your monthly pick a card tarot reading today. My intention for this reading is to offer you some clarity, inspiration, or insights for the month of August. The timestamps are in the description box, along with any other links or information that may be of interest to you. These readings are general and are here to offer you insight, not instruction, so please use your discernment and intuition to decide what's best and lovingly leave the rest. For those who would like an official introduction and close-up of the soul paths today, let me do that for you right now. For soul path 1, we have the crown, number 52, and the blue calcite stone. For soul path 2, we have the rose with the number 49 and the tree agate stone. And for soul path 3, we have the key with number 43 and the green fluorite stone. So when you feel ready, head into the description box, find the timestamp for your reading, and I'll meet you over there. Hello, Soul Path 1. Welcome into your reading. You chose the crown with the blue agate stone. Blue calcite stone. There's almost something about a mistaken identity here. And maybe you're coming into some kind of identity, feeling more aligned with your power, feeling more regal. There's something about leadership coming through, or just something very empowered. Maybe that's a feeling that you are trying to embody. So let's hop right into your reading with the tarot. And I have another card from another deck. Let's see. Emperor. That's funny. That is the king of all kings. That is someone with sovereignty and authority and the final say in what is done and how it's done. This is a visionary leader, a leader that takes action, a leader that is strong, a leader that does not question or doubt their power. I'm going to keep that out because I feel it's incredibly important for your month of August, and it's interesting too. The Emperor is sort of wearing a little bit of a crown there, a metaphorical crown. So I don't think you're actually going to be wearing a crown, but this could be metaphorical, where you're really stepping into your power, you're becoming more ambitious. Maybe you're taking action on something, or you're building a business that you've always dreamed of building, or making a big decision and having no question or doubts about that. So that's really cool. Let's just get 3 cards for the month of August for you, and one more. So we have the 9 of Swords in reverse, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the 7 of Swords in reverse. A lot of reversals, but I really like the reversal on the end because another reversal. For the bottom of the deck, we have the Star. I think part of your challenge here, you might have a lot of ambition or a lot of energy in the month of August to follow something. I feel like you're getting a really good idea about what decision you need to make, of where you need to go, of what kind of essence or energy you need to empower for that next big thing that you would like to achieve. But I feel like there's still some things that need to be worked through. One of those things could be about the release of the worry with the 9 of Swords in reverse. This could be a challenge, but this could also be something that you're currently and actively working through, because that's going to be important to embody this powerful energy. You have to release the old stories. You have to, and I say have to, you don't have to do anything, but releasing old stories is something that I'm getting with that 9 of Swords. Releasing the idea that you might be a victim to a specific circumstance that you are moving through right now. That's going to be different for everyone, so take that only if it resonates. But just an overall overthinking and rumination energy, I think you're done with something here within the mind. You're done telling yourself to play small. You're done telling yourself that this is how it's always going to be. I think your spirit knows better. Your spirit knows different. But it's going to take a little bit of time to unravel, because we do have a knight here, which is about movement, but this knight is in reverse, and it's also a pentacle energy. So I feel like August might be a bit of a sludgy month, because there are things that you're working through in order to embrace this beautiful big energy over here. So there's some reassessment happening, some review, and I think it's something to do with the mind. It's almost like you're relearning how to move in the world, how to think in the world. And it's a pattern of behavior that's going to take some time to shift into, and it's a consistent and constant awareness of that. So I think at first there is going to be a little bit of movement towards something, but there's going to be some steps forward, some steps back, bringing back that awareness, and then taking some steps again. So it's like you are learning how to do something all over again, but with a new perspective, a new frame of mind, a new mindset. And this brings you into some kind of truth. I don't know if there's a truth that gets revealed because of this process, or you're starting to really see where your North Star is, where you feel purposeful, where it is you see meaning and value. And I think that is changing or shifting how you see yourself. The way you see yourself, the way you express yourself, the way you move in the world is changing, and will start to change at least by the end of the month. This is a really, it can be a card of something coming to light, some truth being revealed, but it can also be a test of your truth as well. And whether or not you are willing to step out and be seen, you are willing to share your thoughts, your ideas, your points of view, I think this is about you getting comfortable with who you are, comfortable with sharing your truth, and stepping into that power that I feel you're ready to step into. This is really lovely, my dear Soul Path 1. Let's get just a few more clarifiers, and then we will end your reading with a couple of oracle cards. What is this Nine of Swords? Yeah, you are unwinding some kind of old belief with the Hierophant in reverse here. You are, yeah, I just get an unraveling, but in the best way. It's like you're seeing the truth of your core beliefs and where they came from, how they came to be, and where they got you. So I think that's really changing. Interesting, with the Eight of Wands here, paired with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. What is the Seven of Swords in reverse? Okay, so here's what I feel is gonna go down here, and the Seven of Cups. I really feel like there's certain values that you're no longer following or moving towards, and that almost propels you into a new direction. So like I said, there is a lot of review, a lot of assessment, and maybe even a shift in focus. This might have you feeling scattered, but I also feel that it's focusing you in a way. It's a very strange tension that I'm feeling here. And it could be because of the way you're thinking about something. You're seeing two sides. You're seeing it from the old perspective and also from the new perspective. So there's almost, I'm getting like a choice that you have to make here. It's like, will you go back to the old ways, or are you going to move yourself forward with great intention and awareness, but also with a lot of action? There's a lot of kind of forward movement, a lot of momentum. So again, while this is in reverse, it can be a little bit of a stall or a setback, or stepping back to reevaluate something. I think that once you've reevaluated and decided to make some kind of shift or refocus your efforts or your time in some way, it's going to propel you forward. Now, what's interesting with these two cards, we've got the Five of Pentacles paired with the Seven of Swords in reverse. I think once you start showing who you are, sharing who you are, sharing your ideas, your thoughts, your opinion, whatever it is that you're opening yourself up to with great truth, and whichever is true for you, I think that's going to make you feel, I don't want to say isolated, but there's the sense that certain people or certain situations are going to fall away. And I think this is happening because it's almost like a snake shedding its skin. You are growing into something new, and you are growing into possibly more choices, something that feels really aligned to your purpose, whatever feels meaningful for you. But that also means that certain things have to be left behind or have to be let go of, which may make you feel isolated or like you've had some kind of loss. And with this shift in values or this shift in perspective, you have to, this could be metaphorical too, where you are releasing old parts of you. So you almost feel a little bit, I don't want to say empty, but it's like you've lost a certain aspect of you and now you're at this point of rebuild. It's like a build up to something bigger, something more grand, something that makes you feel powerful or empowered. Any final words of wisdom for Soul Path 1, please, for their month of August? Stay in integrity. That's the final message that you, or the final kind of set of cards, is that stay in your truth. You don't have to be undiplomatic about that. You don't have to be cruel. But staying in your truth means, and we have releasing. So with embrace and certainty at the bottom of the deck. So this is, being comfortable with not knowing what's next. Being comfortable with not knowing what this new you is going to create around you and how it's going to change your reality. It's going to require you to continue to realign or align to your purpose, align to whatever your truth is, even if it disappoints people or it makes people see you differently. You can't control that, so you just have to continue to stay in that integrity so that your life is a reflection of that true you. And then releasing, I feel there's going to be some letting go, and I got that with the 5 of Pentacles there. So expect certain parts of you to start falling away. Maybe it's your core beliefs, maybe it's your traditions, your routines, your habits, the things that you've learned that you've stuck to quite loyally. Yeah, there's something that's falling away. So I think you have to embrace not knowing what this new you is going to create and who it's going to attract and repel in that process. So very interesting, Soul Path 1. You'll have to let me know in the comments if this resonated. I'd be interested to hear in what's happening for you and how this plays out in the month of August. So until we meet again, my dear Soul Path 1, stay curious, and I'll see you soon. Hello, Soul Path 2. Welcome in to your reading. You got a little bit of Soul Path 1 in here that might be of interest to you. You chose the tree agate with the rose. Could be your birthday in the month of August, or I feel like there could be some kind of event or mark of something exciting in the month of August. This also gives me the feeling of an offering. So maybe this is you giving an offer or offering something to someone, but it could also be you receiving something as well. You could just be a hopeless romantic, I'm not sure. Now, we're going to do something a little unconventional here. And in Soul Path 1, when I was grabbing the main deck that we're going to use today, a card from this deck came through. So we are going to pull a card from this deck to get a clarifier for this rose card, and then we are going to pull the main tarot. We're going to get straight into it. So opening card for Soul Path 2 for their month of August, please. Pertaining to this rose, we have the Death in reverse. And I don't know if those are roses on there. But they are some kind of flower. So interesting. It's almost as if there's some kind of releasing, even some kind of becoming, you stepping into some kind of truth, maybe your truth, maybe more of your personality. A new path that you're inspired to follow, which means you letting go of something that's no longer working for you. Yeah, there's like a part of you that is dying. It's like there's a new you coming to pass. Or there could be something that you're repeating, a cycle that you're repeating that needs to come to an end. Maybe there's an emotional attachment to this thing. It could be a person. It could be... not really sure. Let's get into the reading. But there's something that is no longer serving you, and maybe it's been around for some time, and it needs to be released, but also honored. And again, that could be an aspect of you, that could be a person or a relationship that you've hung on to for too long that needs to go. Not too sure. Could be a lot of emotion involved in this particular connection. Again, whether it's an aspect of you or not. And speaking of pile 1, the Emperor in the upright came out in that reading, so that might be of interest to you here. It's at the bottom of the deck in reverse. So I feel like there's some kind of aspect of power or authority that you need to step into. I just get the sense that there's an old you, an old version of you, maybe a smaller you, an unconfident you that is being released or moved through in some way. You started out this reading with a big card. It's the Moon in reverse. Now maybe you've gone through a very long period of questioning, of really getting in touch with your desires, your dreams, what you want in your life, and what your feelings are about something. Maybe you had a lot of questions. Maybe you were questioning for some time. August might be a time where that comes to a shift point or an end point, because I feel you have moved through a very long period of darkness or discomfort. It could also be that you might be avoiding that as well for one reason or another. There's something here that needs to end or to be put aside or released, but there is a fear about the discomfort of what it means to let that go. Now, this could be an overwhelming emotional process for you to consider releasing this or shifting it in some way, but I think it's going to do the complete opposite than you think. You might feel like it could potentially overwhelm you, or that you may have questions, or you might not know the path forward. I think that's okay. Once you step into that with great authority and not try to control the outcome or the results of whatever happens after that decision, I think the results are going to really surprise you, because the Seven of Cups is this energy of really connecting in with your own subconscious desires. Maybe your dreams. You are really reconnecting with what it is that you would like to achieve, that you would like to emotionally invest in. And for some reason, whatever you are saying goodbye to or considering saying goodbye to, I think that's what's causing some kind of confusion or doubt. So it's almost as if you have to address it and confront it and do the hard thing, whatever that might be, to find that clarity and to get rid of that noise and confusion. So even though, I just get that you think it's going to be far worse than it might be once you have moved in that direction. And I think it's going to really bring your energy levels back. I think you're going to be re-inspired. I think you're going to find a lot of movement in whichever you do with life. Possibly a new job, or just a new motivation, a new inspiration to, go after what it is that you want here. But I think there's a doubt on whether you can do that or not. And maybe that's why the Death is in reverse, is because there is a doubt of letting this go, or a fear of letting this go. But I think it can be done gracefully. I think it can be done compassionately. Moon in reverse, please. Let's get some clarifiers now, and then we'll end with a couple of oracle messages. Queen of Cups. So there's you connecting in with your intuition and possibly your emotions here with this moon in reverse. And the Four of Cups in reverse. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of emotional release, but I think it's a good emotional release. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then the Six of Swords. Yeah, it's almost like you're facing the fear and doing it anyway here. And you're just going to love the results. I think it's going to be an absolute, there's going to be so much gratitude. There's going to be so much growth. There's going to be so much movement, so much inspiration, maybe spontaneity, adventure, creativity. But it all starts with you getting in touch with your emotions and how you truly feel. There's something about really giving yourself the time to connect in with that, because there's some truth that lies in your emotions. And again, you can do this compassionately and with grace and with great love. There's something about holding the space for your emotions and going with the flow of wherever you are taken, and I think it's going to be a very good place. I think you're going to have more emotional clarity. You're going to be reconnected with your emotional self, feeling grounded, feeling a lot safer, and being more open to opportunity. You're no longer emotionally investing in things that no longer serve you, that are lackluster in some way, that aren't satisfying, that drain you, and that brings back your energy, that brings back a passion for life, a love for life. And it really aligns you to the things that you love to do. I feel like you're reconnecting with a child like you, but from a very loving, mothering place. So it's almost like you are reparenting yourself in some way here and allowing your inner child to come through, nurturing that inner child and having patience with this process here. There is a lot of movement with the Six of Swords in the upright. This is more mental, I think, than anything. It all starts within the mind, and then it starts to come through within your emotions and then your external actions. Really beautiful, though. That is a card of progress and moving on from possibly some chaos that you were or have been experiencing. And you're doing it even though you're not quite in your Emperor energy yet. You're not quite confident about where you're headed. You're just following what feels true to you. Following what you know in your heart and intuition that needs to be let go of. So this could be an aspect of you that is being healed, that you are really mothering and offering compassion for. There's a lot of mother energy in your reading. I say a lot. Well, there is a lot. There's a lot of moon energy here. Yeah. So celebration, that just confirms, I feel, the message of where you're headed. And then we have seek healing and strength. So what I get from this with the yang paired with the healing is that once the healing has occurred, once there's space for this divine feminine energy, that will launch you forward. That will provide the strength that you need or are seeking to take action. With that Knight of Wands, it's taking action in an inspired way, in a very intentional way, and a very aligned way as well. I think your month of August is going to be about you embracing your feminine energy or divine feminine energy, maybe stepping out of this divine masculine where you are constantly feeling like you have to chase and do and be productive. This is you really settling into going with the flow of being open to receive, maybe honoring yourself or honoring a part of you that needs to be recognized. So this is what I have for you, my dear Soul Path 2. Do let me know if any of this resonated in the comment section. I'd love to hear how this unfolds for you. And until we meet again, stay curious, and I'll see you soon. Hello, my Soul Path 3. Welcome into your reading. You chose the green fluorite stone with the key card. There could be something you're in search for or trying to unlock, possibly within yourself. Maybe there's something you're trying to transform within yourself. Maybe, oh, okay, there's something that you're trying to achieve or overcome here, but it may require you to do something that you're not used to, something that feels overwhelming or big in some way. So we're going to do something a little unconventional. Soul Path 1, when I was pulling out the main tarot deck to do the reading, one of the cards from this deck came out, so I used it as a clarifier to the identifier card, or the pile leader card. So let's get one card to open the reading with the key, please, for the month of August. We have the Ace of Cups. That's super cool. So again, it feels like there's some kind of new feeling you're having about something here, and it could potentially open up something new here, maybe a new connection with somebody, whether it is platonic or romantic, but this also could just give you the feeling of a new hope, being open to receive, having an open heart about possibilities. Again, it's like the key to your heart is what I heard. So you got 2. Queen of... Okay. Oh, but you might be battling your heart here. You've got your walls up here. The Queen of Cups in reverse and the 7 of Wands for the first part of the reading here. Let's get the next card, please. Okay. Okay, I see what's going on. One more. The Devil in reverse. I feel like this is a relationship read with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Here's what I'm getting right off the bat. I feel like I don't feel like you're aligned to your values in the way that you once were, specifically as it relates to your childhood, your family, etc. I feel there's something about your past that closed you off, that suppressed some kind of emotion, or that closed your heart up. And I think this has to do with a family tie or ancestral trauma, etc. And so you've really had your guard up. You feel like you've had to protect yourself. And there's safety in that protection. Very guarded. The heart has been very guarded, but I'm seeing that open up in a really big way. I don't know how specifically yet, but I am getting that the key to your heart is being open. And what happens is that I think you're going to start moving in the direction of where your heart's desire is, even though it might feel a little uncomfortable and a little bit scary. It's like you're tired of, I get a fatigue because you've spent so long protecting your heart that I feel like you feel like you're not experiencing the potential of what could be. So I feel like you're opening yourself up to something new here. It could be passion that you are moving towards, or it could just be you expressing your desires and your dreams a little bit more. Maybe reconnecting with a passion that you had lost touch with in some way. It could also be a person too, giving you an offer and you saying yes, even though you might wobble a little bit. But I feel that this goes deeper than you protecting your heart. It's not that easy. And I think that this is unchaining you from a very significant experience in your life where there was a reason why your heart was guarded. There's a reason why it was locked up and nobody could get in. So I think August is going to be a big month for you when it comes to emotions and unattaching yourself to something that no longer feels good to you, that feels like it's closing you off to life, maybe even to feeling, to enjoying the pleasures of life, regardless of how those come to you. It's like You want to open up to those things again. You want to open up to the beauty of life. You want to move where your heart wants you to move. You want to go with the flow. You want to create from that space of love and passion. But you haven't been able to up to this point. King and Queen. The King of Cups in reverse is clarifying the Queen of Cups in reverse. Okay, very strong parental vibes here, and I almost wonder if you're the Seven of Wands, where you've had to continually, maybe this might be a past energy, and I don't know if it's the immediate past or like childhood past, but there's a mother and a father figure here, and now these are just energies. Usually the kings are the providers, they are the doers, and the queens are the nurturers, the protectors. So I feel like you didn't have a lot of emotional support from parental figures, however they show up for you in life, and you've had to constantly fight for yourself. Maybe fight to be seen or to be heard or to be felt, or your emotions were repressed in some way by a father figure or by somebody who was an authority to you in some way, whether that is a boss or an older partner that you were connected to. I feel like they really shut you down and you've been guarded ever since. So we have we have with the Knight of Cups, we've got the Nine of Swords. Yeah, this is going to bring up a lot of old fears. Once you start getting out there and expressing yourself and following your heart and finding joy and pleasure in life, it's going to trigger some old thought patterns. So I think you're going to be addressing that in a very loving way, but there could be some underlying fears there of, where is this taking me? Where am I going? So there could be some mental aspect to this that you might have to look at and address along this journey, because it might be lying underneath. It might be something that you don't see. What is this Devil in reverse? Five of Swords in reverse. Okay, yeah. And the Tower in the upright. Yep, some big work going on in the month of August here for you. And it's going to create a little bit of a stir, probably within you, within your mind. There might be a lot of guilt, a lot of shame coming through. But that doesn't mean that it's not something you can overcome, because you hold the key to the answers. And I think you know intuitively what you need to do. And what's interesting is that both of these figures are chained to this devil. And this is the key to those chains. It is in the reverse at the end of the month. And this could cause a bit of a stir. Maybe within you, because this is underneath. So something within you could really, cause a ruckus. Your ego might be telling you to go back because that's what's familiar, even though it might be a little unhealthy. Or maybe it's something that you don't want to feel anymore. You want to feel a new way. You want to feel more self-love. You want to feel love for life in general and be loved. So in order to do that, it's almost like you have to do the hard thing, the difficult thing, the thing that's going to create tension, possibly with somebody in your life that you are communicating with. It's almost like, rather than keep this within you and isolate yourself in this, trying to figure it out on your own, there's something here that I think you're going to be expressing outwardly, which relieves the pressure, but it creates tension. So again, that could be a tension with somebody, but it could also be a tension within you. There's something here that you decide, or that you say enough is enough, or I'm done, or there's this change in mindset that happens, and it breaks the chains of this devil. It completely upends some of the foundations that you have had in place that weren't benefiting you in a positive way anymore. I think those get shaken up, and there's new foundations being created for a new way of feeling, a new way of moving through the world, of expressing yourself. It's like you've battled the boss. Whatever boss that is, I think you're coming out strong. Boss battle is happening in the month of August for you. So you have Slow It Down. And it's interesting, I don't see a lot of slow cards. But I think if there's any pressure to make this thing happen or to move through this, don't rush the process. Allow it to ebb and flow. Again, when we're tapping into the energy of water, we have to go with that flow. We have to move with those ebbs and flows and be confident in that process and trust that process. And then we have the meant to be card. There's something here about maybe a karmic tie being broken or some kind of lesson that you've learned and you are now integrating it. There's something that really makes you feel aligned this month, even though it might feel a little bit sticky. And it's almost like you have arrived, not necessarily at a destination, but you have arrived at the start of a new path, the start of a new cycle, something that is meant to be and meant to take you to new places, to new heartfelt places. So this is what I have for you, my dear Soul Path 3. I do hope that was helpful for you. You'll have to let me know in the comments how this is playing out, or it is leading up to playing out. I'm always interested to hear how these resonate with you and reflect in your story. And until we meet again, my dear friends, stay curious, and I'll see you soon.